where we're going to start as far as this training goes. And I want to take you back all the way back to about 1999. That's when I executed my very, very first carrier landing. Now, I don't know if you knew this or not, but the United States is the only country in the world that lands on aircraft carriers at night. There are a whole bunch of countries, England, Ireland, France, Japan, China, just to name a few, that land on aircraft carriers. There's actually 9 countries that do it. But the only country that does it at night is the good old United States of America. Now, some people call that courage. Some people call that bravado. I call that sheer stupidity, and here's why. Because the very first time they send you out to the carrier, you know, normally when you're doing your flight training, you have an instructor in your back seat. But the very first time that they send you out to the carrier, you're all by yourself and you're alone. And the first time you do it at night, you're alone as well too. Now, I think that's risk mitigation, frankly. I think that's, they figure, well, if he's going to crash, you know, it might as well be just him. But on July 25th, 1999, I was in the airplane for my very first night carrier landing. And I can tell you that it was an absolutely beautiful night. The moon was out, the stars were out. There was a beautiful just view over the entire cockpit view at that point, and everything was really great except for one very small thing. You see, starting at about 700 feet above the water and ending at about 1,200 feet above the water was a very thick overcast cloud layer. Now, that cloud layer would be the source of a pretty significant problem for me that night. It shouldn't have been. You see, I had trained for years and years and years, 3 years up until that point, to fly through the clouds using my instruments to be able to do that in the simulator and also in the airplane. I had been trained to trust my instruments, but at that point, when I hit about 10 miles and about 1,200 feet in my F-18, my very first night carrier landing, as I descended into the clouds,